Hi Conley Clan fam! Today I wanted to give you an update on all of our foster care and adoption cases that we have going on in our house. I was going to record outside. It is such a beautiful day. It's the middle of November here in Nebraska and it is 70 degrees out. It is so beautiful outside, but it is super windy. And so I decided to stay inside and record today's video, but stay tuned and I'll get you updated. Start with Christian. First, Christian's case is moving along. In Nebraska, you have to have children in your home for at least 6 months before you can adopt them. Our 6-month day having Christian in the house is on December 10th. His termination trial is set for December 9th. And really, it's just a formality. His birth mom has already said she wanted us to adopt him. She told the hospital that. And so it's just a formality because she hasn't actually signed papers to relinquish. And so they are going to have a trial to terminate parental rights. And then we can move forward with adoption. We are hoping, I know that our ICPC worker is getting all of our home study stuff together so that way it's ready. When the termination happens, Iowa will request that home study so that way they can move forward with adoption, and then everything will be in motion to get us an adoption day. I will say that when Christian first moved into the house, he was such a good baby. He would sleep for 12 hours, and the only time he cried was when he was hungry. Now, after about a month of having him here, he started spitting up more and more. Eventually, he got to the point where he was spitting up his entire bottle before he would eat the next bottle. And so we figured that because his siblings, Gavin and Lily, because they had MSPI when they were babies, that he probably had that as well. And so we went ahead and switched his formula to what we had them on, which was Alimentum. Now on the Alimentum, he stopped spitting up, but he started getting diaper rash. Now, I couldn't quite tell because we were kind of introducing foods right after that. And so every time I introduced a new food, I felt like he would get a diaper rash. And then once he was on it, like eating it for a couple days, then he'd be fine. But the more he was on that formula, or the longer he was on that formula, you can hear him talking in the background, the longer he was on that formula, the worse his congestion got. He started getting really sick, and we weren't sure if it was a cold, if it was from teething, although he has no teeth. We weren't quite sure what was going on, but the longer it kept going, the more we thought that maybe he was allergic to the formula. And so we went ahead and asked the doctor to switch him. And so about a couple weeks ago, we switched him to Neocate. Now that is the top of the line, most expensive formula that you can get without having a formula custom made for a baby. And so he is on that. He has been doing so much better, but he is an extremely colicky baby. So during the night, I'd say about 7 o'clock at night, he starts getting extremely fussy, where he just cries and cries and cries, and there really is no reason. You know, he's fed, he's changed, he's gotten love, and he just still cries and cries. And so we have been trying to work through that. Also, he wakes up at least once in the middle of the night. Quite often he wakes up twice, and he is going to be 8 months old in just a couple days. So I am not used to that. We are very exhausted, and I am just praying and praying that he gets through this phase really soon. I always know the first year of having a baby is the hardest, because once they hit 12 months old and they're eating the food that you eat, and I should never say never, but I have never yet had a baby who didn't sleep through the night by the time they were 12 months old. And so we are just praying that he gets through this and things start to get just a little bit easier because he is such a fussy baby at night.
Are you being Mr. Fussy up here? Are you being Mr. Fussy Gussie? Everyone heard you throwing your fit. Now you look like you're super happy. You want to tell everybody hi? Can you say hi? Blow and kiss.
So guys, ever since I switched Christian's formula, he no longer has diaper rashes. So even though I thought it was because of the food we were feeding him, it apparently was only the formula, because we have not had any trouble. I will say that I used to feed Christian fruit during lunchtime and veggies in the evening, and I had to switch that up because I found that he did not want to eat his veggies at nighttime. And so he ended up not really eating a whole lot of food at night. And so I switched that around and now feed him his veggies at lunch and his fruit for dinner. And he eats so much better now. Don't you, Christian? Don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay, guys, so here I just turned the camera off and I had to turn it back on because I think it's funny. Here is a kid with no preconceived notions about food, and he hates certain things. So usually if I feed him peas or green beans, he will act like he's throwing up. Let me show you what he does when I feed him squash.
You want to try some squash?
You don't like that? Guys, I don't think he likes squash either. Now, on to our next case, which is Isabella. So, Isabella, as we told you a few videos ago, we got the appeal decision in and it was in our favor. That means that as of right now, we are going to be able to adopt Isabella, but, and I feel like there are a lot of buts in foster care and adoption, but her birth dad has the ability to ask for one more review. So he could go to the Supreme Court and he could ask them to review the appellate court's decision. And then the Supreme Court can decide whether they want to approve that or deny that review. Now they can deny it, and they can accept it, and if they accept it, I have heard that they make their decision really quick. So we are waiting. We have until November 26th. That is the last day they have to ask for a review. Now, in our previous dealings, we are used to him waiting until the very last second to ask for that. So we are hopeful, but we are not holding our breath because we know that anything can happen. But we are still filling out paperwork and doing everything we need to do so that way, right after that, we can apply for our adoption date. And our worker is diligently working on all of that stuff behind the scenes so that way everything is ready to go and she doesn't have to wait long. Now let me tell you, this poor little girl, you know, she came to us when she was only 2 years old. And so when she came to us, you know, she just assumed that we were her parents. And, you know, even though she knew there was a birth mom and a birth dad, and we were very open about that, and she did visits, she still felt like we were mom and dad. And so when she had come back to us after leaving for a month, you know, she asked me, why did they take me away from you? And so we had to try to explain what had happened. The other day, I was tucking her in bed, and she says to me, Mom, I just really wish I was adopted already. And it just breaks my heart. But, you know, I said to her, me too, but hopefully, you know, you're going to have your day really soon and this will all be over. And so my heart just breaks for her because she really wants that adoption day. And I think it will be so good for her just to know that it's finally over. So we have one more case to talk about, and that is the sibling group that we are trying to add to our family. And so right now what is happening is we had our initial pre-placement visit with them. It went very well. We love the kids. We think the kids like us too. But the two little kids actually wanted to stay and didn't want to leave, which is so cute. I think they had so much fun playing with our other little kids too. And so then we did a second visit with them, and they came and stayed for an entire day, and that went really well, I felt too. Now we are to the important part, and that is where we have to try to get the exception for our home. So we have 10 kids in the house. In the state of Nebraska, you're only supposed to have 6. We get exceptions all the time for siblings. We have never tried to get an exception for a whole other separate group. That is what this would be. And, you know, 15 kids is a lot of kids, but we have a ton of references and things in place that make us really good candidates for having extra children. Not to mention, we do have the room. We just are adding the 3 bedrooms in our basement. And I think that they would fit into our family really well. But we don't get to make that decision. So right now the caseworker is working with the higher ups to make sure that if they do put the kids here, that it is going to be a successful placement. Because the last thing that you want is for it to be an unsuccessful placement and then have to traumatize the kids again, move them. And so I am thrilled that Nebraska is doing their due diligence because they want to just ensure that the kids are going to the appropriate home and want to make sure that the kids are going to get the care and love that they need being in whatever home they're in. But I will say I am hopeful. Our agency is working with the state and getting them what they need, and I'm really hopeful that this is going to end up being a positive, happy outcome. So Sean has decided to build us a new live edge table, one that's a little bit longer and can accommodate our entire family. So we're gonna go check out the slabs, but first we're gonna stop and have lunch at one of our favorite local places, Runza.
I'm gonna have a number 4 with everything and a Dr. Pepper.
What are we offering you today?
And then I'm going to have a grilled chicken smothered meal with a Dr. Pepper as well.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
That'll be 16 or 44 for you. Thank you.
So guys, we got our Runza. If you guys have never heard of Runza, it is a Midwest chain and it is really good. If you ever happen to be in the Midwest, you should stop and try it. We're getting gas now. We've got about a 40-minute drive to get there, but when we get there, this place is going to be phenomenal. They've got tons of live edge wood and I can't wait to show you. So we just got back from looking at the live edge slabs. I'm pretty sure we know which one we're gonna get, and I'm really excited to have such a big, long table that will fit everyone. It is going to go actually in this room behind me here, which is our family room that has our wood burning fireplace, but we like never use this room. And because we're going to remodel our kitchen and our current dining room is going to become part of our current kitchen and we're going to make it one big large area, we thought that it would be great to use the family room instead of a family room to make it a huge dining room area where we can put a large table and be able to have everybody sit around it together. Also, I think it'd be really cool to have the wood burning fireplace there, which will just give that room some ambiance. And then we're gonna put our TV, we're gonna get another one. We took this TV that was back here and put it outside. And so we're gonna get another TV and put it up there. That will also give the kids another area to watch TV. They can do all their coloring, they can spread out their homework, and I feel like just having a big table that runs the length of our room, which is gonna be like an 18-foot table, I think that that will be so cool to have that there and have the ability to have everybody sitting together, which right now, because we keep adding to our family, we don't have that ability. But I am super excited to show you guys when Sean starts working on it and what that finished product ends up being like.
Like our video and give a thumbs up and like our channel and give and hit that notification bell.